What's up guys, Chidester here, owner of EliteCEOs.com, teaching you how to build a profitable online business. Now in today's video, we're gonna talk about the difference between an in-person and online training, the benefits, the pros, the cons, and everything in between, and even how much money you can make. So stay tuned, we're gonna talk about it in this video.
Yeah, and it's like, ooh, that is sexy.
What's up guys? So headed to the gym with Alex. He's gonna teach me his ways. So today we did a 5-day challenge. We do this once a month. If you haven't done it, check it out. Once a month I'll kind of promote on my IG, and we take basically individuals from creating and packaging an offer to selling it in under 5 days. Today was kind of busy. We've had issue in our management, and so the downside when a manager doesn't show or something bad happens, besides the fact that they might get fired, is then usually the CEO has to step in. And so like today I actually had to go in and put out a lot of fires. Wasn't really that fun, to be honest, but you know, it's kind of part of business, and you excuse me, and you learn from it and you grow. So a little bit longer day than usual today. Not able to work on some of the creative things I wanted to, but it is what it is, and we're off to the gym. So yeah, head to the gym, blow some steam, and then go back home. All right, what's up guys? So one of the ways that you can do fitness online, it's actually very simple. So when I started, I thought, you know, probably like you are, I really overcomplicated the process, and all I really had to do is very simple. And this is how I got my first client. I'll walk you through the whole thing. I got on my IG, started messaging people on my page, right? I had some pictures of fitness that I'd done. I said, hey, you know, you're looking to lose weight, etc. I was like, cool, like maybe I could give you some tips, let's get on a call. Got on a quick call for like 10 minutes. Walk them through some questions. It's basically, that's called a set call. I didn't know that at the time, but it's called a set call. And I walked them through some questions and said, cool, sounds great. Now I'm gonna need some more, I'm gonna send you over some more stuff that I'm gonna need specific answers where I'm just not really gonna remember like your weight, foods you like, foods you hate, stuff like that. Once it gets back to me, if it looks good, we'll get on another call. So basically what I was doing is I was qualifying them. Think of it as like an application. So I'd send it over, and I had some specific questions in there about, you know, hey, are you willing to invest in yourself? On a scale 1 to 10, are you super serious? You know, hey, I'm gonna help fix this problem for you forever. I'm not the cheapest, but you'll never have to pay for this again, you know, etc. And if they give me good answers, I'd get on a call. If they didn't, I would follow up. All follow up means is I'd clarify, hey, you said this, like what does that mean? So got them on a sales call and I closed them. And my first deal I ever closed, my first high ticket deal, fitness deal, was $1,500, right? Got it all up front. And then I closed my second one for $2,000 all up front. And that was the same amount of money I made in a month that I made that in a couple of days, right? Now, when I started, all I did is I got an app, and we're actually coming out with our own app for trainers because we get so many. But right now, 2 of the apps that you could use are very simple. One is Trainerize and one is PT Distinction. And basically it just creates the fulfillment. So like it has their sets, it has their reps, their weights, it has videos they can watch, they can input the amount of weight they use, they can check in each day to show you they worked out, stuff like that. And it's very simple to use, and it makes the process very seamless for your online client. And then secondarily is I created an Excel spreadsheet with all their foods and the amount to eat. They have 1 apple, do this, do that, so it's very simplistic. And then I just made the foods revolve around them following if it fits your macros, or right, calorie counting, right? It's very simple. Now you can obviously get more, you know, robust, and there's other things out there. There's excuse me, there's something called Eat This Much that you can use for nutrition. There's also one, I think at the time it was called Evolution Nutrition, similar thing. But at the end of the day, you got to understand, people don't really care. What people really are looking for is they want something that works, they want something that's easy, and they want to feel like you care. And so all I did is for my first initial clients, I did that. As I created more revenue and I created more money, I started increasing kind of like the professionalism of my company, and I started doing some different things. But that's literally all you need to start. You just need an app that they can track their workouts and they can see what to do. Give them some daily communication, and then give them an Excel spreadsheet or whatever you want to do in terms of their food. Or you can even add in meals. I know some of my clients, they'll actually give their clients trying to lose weight meals from a meal prep company, and they just charge them a little more so that the clients will adhere more to the diet and they'll actually get results. So it's really not as hard as you think. That was the thing that was crazy for me, is I was selling $50 fitness programs, and I thought that was like what I had to sell. And then people started paying me over the phone, $500, $1,500, $2,000. I even sold one fitness program for $50,000, I believe it was, for a year. Might have been more, might have been like 100. Yeah, I think it was more like 100,000. And so there's people out there who are willing to pay top dollar. You just have to make sure that you give them what they want, and you explain it in a way so that they understand why you charge more and why you're better. And if you don't know how to do that, that's obviously, what I help my clients do. So probably the biggest fitness tip is, if you want to feel good on a daily basis, make sure you do cardio. I did cardio a lot, like when I played sports. I did some when I stopped, but really, like, that's why I do 45 minutes of Stairmaster every day. The reason I do Stairmaster is like I can do it for a long time, but the other reason is that like it gives me some type of cardio, right? Because as you stop taking that stuff as serious, a lot of times you'll lift but you don't run or you do something like that. So since I started doing that, like, I feel better when I go outside and we're moving around or doing hikes, and then also it's just like I feel healthier. Like, I just feel way healthier. So especially if you're gonna eat bad, or at times, or you smoke occasionally, you drink, whatever, I just find that if you don't do it, you just won't feel half as good and you won't be as healthy. So just always do cardio. All right, what's up, guys? So in this one I wanted to talk about, or this point I want to talk about the difference between online trainers and in person, and what's the benefit, what's the difference, those things. Now, I think part of it starts with how much money would you like to make. Okay, I don't think there's an argument that you can make more as an online trainer than you can as an in-person trainer. Not only that, but you can do it from anywhere in the world, right? So you can travel, you make the same amount. You can go to your parents for Thanksgiving, you make the same amount. Most trainers who train at a local facility, if they leave, they no longer make money. And that, to me, is just not ideal, right? It's not gonna give you the ideal lifestyle you want. The second thing is you can usually charge more, right? And what I mean by that is, like, let's say a trainer at the gym is usually charging, let's say $50 a session, or let's say $100 a session, okay? So you're going, let's say 3 days a week, you're talking anywhere between $600 to $1,200 a month, right? Now, my average online trainer will charge probably about $3,200 for 4 months. So that's around the middle of that. But I have had some trainers who charge as high as $5,000 or $6,000. The other thing to keep in mind is, even if it was the same price, right? Let's say you're getting $600 a month. You're not having to go and do those in-person sessions, which means during those hours that you would be working, you're actually working on the business where you're getting more sales, right? And that's really the only way to get wealthy. You can't create businesses where it's dependent on you being there, or it's dependent on you delivering a service. If that's something you want to do, that's fine. But the whole reason I was able to make over $1 million in a year as an online trainer is because I was able to get 30 to 40 clients every single month, and then I would just offload them to my coaches. And those coaches, right, could be, didn't have to be local. They could be anywhere in the world, right? At the time, it was one of my brothers. And so all those people really are wanting is something that works, plus accountability. That's literally it. And if you think about most people who go to the gym, the issue is, like, they're going to the gym to work out, but they're not actually focusing on what's the most important, which is the eating, right? The nutrition is 90% of results. The gym is the easy part, right? That's gonna give you the least amount of results. It's actually the eating. And so when you focus on that and you explain it to them that you're gonna teach them how to do that, and that really working at an in-person gym, they usually don't focus on that, or doing like a beach body program, they don't focus on that, it makes it a lot easier to sell. And I could talk about that in another video. But ultimately, the reason I love online is I can get as many clients as I want, I can work from wherever I want, and if I have too many clients, I can just really bring on a coach who handles them. And so the amount of money I make is infinite, right? Like, it doesn't matter how many clients you get, versus an in-person gym. You got 12 hours in a day, right? Once those 12 hours are full, that's it, and that's the cap on your income. And I just don't like living in a world where I am capped on how much I can make. So hopefully that makes sense. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. There's always gonna be more content on growing your online business. Hope you guys liked the video, and if not, still like you.